We are back.
Back.
We are back. You know what I'm saying? Stay Winning is in the building. NBA time. We are, look, man, this is a great time of the year.
Yeah.
Full-fledged NFL.
Yep.
NBA is in the building.
Yep.
World Series coming up. It's a great time to be college football.
Yeah.
College basketball getting ready to start a little bit. Like, all this stuff is getting ready to happen. This is a great time. Like, the fall season going into winter season is the best time for sports.
Yep.
Right?
So what we're going to talk about?
We talking about the NBA, though.
We're going to talk about the NBA. So
we had games last night. Yeah, we had games last night, Tuesday night, opening night, NBA, big time, ring ceremony for the Denver Nuggets. Congratulations on your win once again.
Yeah.
Y'all came out looking like, yo, we still hungry. Yo, we hungry around these parts. And the Nuggets came out with some grub on their mind. They had the brooms out last year. And if we really want to keep it a buck, the Lakers can't beat them. How about that? How about that, LA? I know y'all got the king. Y'all ain't got no dubs against the Denver Nuggets in the last 6 games. And that's 4 in the playoffs. I don't care how close the games was. Y'all ain't got no dubs.
Why you gotta be so?
I got to
angry though.
Right?
All right. First of all, let me bring people up to speed on why he's upset.
Yes, I'm very upset.
We just sat here and we talked to y'all for 40 minutes, but I didn't hit the record button, so y'all ain't hear none of that. So he's mad that we're doing it again. Take 2.
All he had on his mind was BB.
No.
We'll run the record button.
I was thinking about that donut AD put up in the second half last night.
What is that about? Like, yo, AD, I'm a fan. You're easily top 7 player in the world. Easily. Walking the face of this earth, you're a top 7 player. Now, I don't know what the system is like. I don't know what kind of shots you were supposed to get or not get. I can't speak for that. That's none of my business. Yeah. What I do know is this. You went 0 for 6 yesterday in the second half. You didn't get to the free throw line.
Yeah.
And you didn't dominate on the defensive end to make up for what you wasn't doing on the offensive end in the second
Joker
half.
dropped a triple-double on him.
Okay.
And led the game. It had the game high in scoring and points.
Yo, what is that? What is that, yo? What is wrong with AD? Why does he do that?
Well, Joker's special.
Okay.
Joker's special. I think that what season is this for AD?
11.
That's a long time in NBA years.
It is.
And he's a big man. He gets touched every night.
All game.
Right. So I think it's right now for us to have this expectation that was set by the Lakers organization and people there that this is AD's team and AD got to carry them.
Mm-hmm.
I think we passed that. Look, you and I talked about this in a previous episode. The NBA is making a shift. It's becoming more about teams. It's not about your big 3 or your 1 or 2 play. It's not about that anymore. Right. What they need somebody who can do something about Jamal. Because D-Lo wasn't doing anything about it.
Austin Reeves got to step. Somebody got to deal with that dude.
You got to do something about Jamal. I know he's a heck of a player. I make it sound so easy, don't I? As a fan, like
just stop Jamal.
Stop Jamal.
Yeah.
You won't, but you got to make it hard for him.
Right.
You got to make it hard for him.
Right.
And so you got Jamal going off. You got MPJ playing defense last night. They said he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Aaron Gordon looks like he gets the easiest 17 points a night.
But it is easy when you're playing with Joker.
And all he has to do is play defense.
That's it.
Aaron Gordon plays defense so that he stays in the starting lineup and stays on the court.
Gets rebounds and knockdown shots.
That's it. It seems like the smoothest, easiest 17 points. He don't talk much. He don't say much.
Nope.
He just, boom, get buckets. Aaron Gordon is everything Tobias Harris should be in Philly.
I like that comparison, actually.
They used to be on the same team when they were in Orlando, right?
I just don't understand, man, like, if AD is not going to be aggressive offensively, like, this is my mindset, okay? This is what I'm hope. See, because, the Lakers put the expectation on him, right? Yeah. They had the same expectation when he was in New Orleans, right? Yeah. All right. Apparently that doesn't work.
He was a younger player.
It was. Right. Apparently that's not his makeup, right? All right, cool. No problem. We're not gonna cry a river about that.
Right.
But you have to make an impact somewhere if you are on the basketball court in the second half. If you are not playing, you can't make an impact. But if you're on the court and they're minus 19 when you're on the court and you are the second best player between the two teams, it's the Joker. And when you on your A game, it's you.
Yeah.
It's not Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray is not a better player than you overall. Okay? You gotta do something.
2 Kentucky products. I'm just thinking like
you got to do something to look. You're not gonna stop the Joker. We get it. But you, like you said, you got to make it hard for him. You got to get under him. You got to bang him. You got to push him around. You got to intimidate him in the best way you can. Block his shot. Do something.
Yeah, and look, to be fair, we watched OKC play Miami in the finals years ago.
Right.
Excuse me. We watched James Harden try to guard LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
And as strong as James Harden is,
he couldn't do it.
He was no match.
He could not do it.
For LeBron.
Couldn't do it.
Why do we think AD can push Joker around?
He can't.
Maybe they need Rui to do it. Maybe they need LeBron to try. They need somebody a little heftier.
So here's my thing, right?
If you're going to push him around. I mean, AD can come from the weak side and try to help out, get a block here and there, but I don't think he's going to be able to push.
If you're not going to be able to give that maximum effort on defense, then you know what you should do to get at Joker? You need to be running the floor. Because we all know that he can't keep up with you if you're running the floor. So you need to push the pace.
The Joker can move.
Yes, but he can't move like that.
He shouldn't be able to.
He's not. Listen, one thing about Joker, he's not athletic. That's okay. We know he's not an athletic.
Ooh.
He ain't a leaper. He ain't that kind of a player.
I beg to differ. I think you're judging a book by its cover.
Okay.
Honestly, look, you watch Joker in the skills competition?
I'm not. No. See, skills and athlete are two different things.
No. But it takes athleticism in order to compete at their competition. Everybody thought when the skills challenge first started and Joker was in it, oh, this is a point guard's event.
Right. Well, he's a point guard. That's what he is. He's a 7-foot point guard.
Yeah, he's like 6'10". Yeah. But still, that big boy can move.
All right, listen.
He can move, man. He is tall Khalid El-Amin. Same body.
Well, what are we doing on this? What are we doing? We really bringing up UConn players?
Big East, baby.
We gonna bring up UConn players?
Yeah, Big East.
Big time UConn player.
Yeah.
This is what we go. We shifting gears to UConn right now.
I'm just saying.
Why we gotta talk about his body like that?
I'm just because we just thinking about big guys that can move. El-Amin was a.
I'm not.
El-Amin.
Pause. I'm not going to dive into Joker and him being the big body that he is. Under no circumstances should he be able to keep up from a pace and athletic point up with Anthony Davis. So he's got to affect the game
just
in multiple ways.
He shouldn't doesn't mean he can't. And what I'm saying is, in order for that to work, AD has to be able to get him with stamina. I don't think he's going to just get him with speed.
Okay, cool.
That's all.
All I know is AD didn't show up in the second half. But they lost. The Joker was doing what he do.
Yeah.
Doing what he do. So, AD, you got to fix it. It's game one. I'm not crying on you. I'm not, none of that. You better come to play because they're going to get you.
Yeah, but look, again, to think that the Lakers' fate has to depend on AD's shoulders, has to ride on AD's back, I think that's where the hope is lost. You got to get contributions from D'Lo, Austin Reeves, Rui. You need the whole team in there. LeBron gonna give you what he can.
Right.
AD need to get in there, do his part. Christian Wood got to get in there, do his part.
Yeah.
This is not going to be an AD averaging 30 points a night, carrying them into the playoffs. That's not going to happen. If y'all think that's going to happen,
I feel sorry for you.
Y'all going to miss the playoffs again.
Yeah. We ain't going to talk about that.
Not miss the playoffs again, but y'all will be out of the playoffs quickly.
But I tell you what is looking good, though. That doggone book at the point in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Hey,
Suns
Warriors game?
Yes.
Yeah. We talked about How are they going to pull it together? And they did it last night with no Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
Showing like, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Now, how y'all going to stop it?
Look, I told you, man, everybody bring the ball up.
Dude, man.
Listen, everybody bring the ball up. But in the fourth quarter, they went to Book.
They said, listen, Devin, take us home.
Yep.
Take us home because you're a matchup problem.
Yep.
You're a matchup problem. And we ain't even got all the shooters. We only got 2 that's out there.
Yeah, Book and KD.
3, because Eric Gordon was out there. He can knock an open shot too, because he hit a big 3 last night. Yeah. But boy, who are you gonna sag off of? If you gonna sag off of KD, I dare you. He the picker guy. He's the picker guy. The picker guy.
Okay.
He's the one setting the pick.
We use really, really big words when we talk about stuff. The picker guy. All right.
He's the guy setting the screen.
Gotcha.
And listen, he played good last night.
Yeah.
Diving to the basket, making, he had a double-double. So listen, I'm telling you, Phoenix offense is going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Because now, granted, I believe the Golden State Warriors without Draymond Green, they would have probably played a lot better. With Draymond, they would have played a lot better.
Yeah.
Chris Paul had an off offensive night. KD had an off offensive night as well. But because of Golden State's size, they're gonna have trouble against the bigger teams anyway.
Yeah.
Because big teams are just gonna pound them on the glass all night long. But that offense looked good for Phoenix, man. That offense looked good.
Book was giving it to Steph.
Man, everybody could give it to Steph.
That's not true.
Come on.
Come
on, man. What are we doing here?
That is not
true. We are not going to say Steph is a defender.
He's a defender. I'm not going to sit here and say he's a top defender, but he's a defender.
Book.
Maybe he's not a defender in game 1 of the season.
Book is going to give it to everyone. Don't make a difference who in front of him. It really don't. It don't make a difference who in front of him. He going to give it to him.
Well, anyway, my point was...
I'm listening.
He was giving it to future Hall of Famer Steph Curry last night.
Yeah.
And unexpectedly to me, because I knew, Book can go get a bucket on Steph. I'm not saying that.
Mm-hmm.
The difference is how he was doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was drawing fouls on Steph.
Mm-hmm.
When you're drawing calls on a superstar, that's big.
Yeah.
He was getting fouls on Steph. He had Steph frustrated.
Yeah.
I don't see Steph get frustrated much.
Right.
And then he outscored Steph.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he outscored him too.
The Golden State Warriors is going to be interesting to see how their offense flows now with the true, and I'm saying true in this dynamic. Chris Paul will settle them down when stuff is not going right. Where if Steph is not getting the ball, Chris Paul is going to make sure, all right, Steph, you're going to get the ball in the spot that you like to, and we're going to live with that shot. All right, Clay, you got the high hand. We're going to get Clay the ball in his spot, because that's what Chris Paul has always done in his career, where he'll settle an offense down. But we're not getting good shots.
Right.
So I'm going to make sure we get a good shot this time down the floor. That's what I mean by...
He's good at finding the mismatch.
Absolutely. Okay. I want to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
I want to see how they close games, because that's going to be a small lineup. And they're going to play small. Yeah. And they've always played small ball. But, of course, just like I just said, if you play small ball, you got to come up with rebounds, because that's when the offensive glass, they'll eat you alive. And a team like the Lakers will be a bad matchup for the Golden State Warriors. They're just big. They're just too big.
They should be.
So they want to avoid avoid them altogether.
They should be bigger than Golden State at every position.
Absolutely.
The Lakers should be.
Absolutely.
But not bigger than Denver.
No.
Denver's a big team.
Yep.
I mean, their point guard is 6'5".
I agree.
So,
yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. But, man, Phoenix, Devin Booker, they look good offensively. I want to see what it look like with Bradley Beal and how he meshes with them. They're going to be tough.
Yeah.
120 a night. That's what you're going to need to beat them. 120 a night. You're going to need 120 points a night to beat them. Because if you can't get 120, you're not going to win most games.
They're going to outscore you.
They're going to outscore you.
And I told you preseason they put up like 40-something points in the first quarter.
They're going to be tough, man.
That was with Bradley Beal.
Now on a somber note.
Okay.
This is somber to me. Because this player, he's a former MVP. And his reputation is not good right now in the NBA. And I'm not talking about the players because I don't know what the player is, but I know the GMs are saying no to James Harden.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know what the situation was on why you wanted out of Houston, but I know you got yourself out of Houston. All right. I understand that it was just really bad timing when you went to Brooklyn. Injuries to KD, injuries to Kyrie, the pandemic, injuries to you. It was just bad timing.
Ben
Simmons. Well, no. He got traded.
Oh yeah, they got
traded for Ben Simmons.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
So just a bad time to be in Brooklyn. Bad time to be. I mean, it was just a bad time in the world. Period. With the pandemic. Anyway, a lot of stuff going on. So I'm not gonna really give Brooklyn too much weight, even though you still force yourself out of Brooklyn. But he forced his way out of Houston. You force your way out of Brooklyn, and now you are here all over again, trying to force your way out of Philly. And GMs are saying, it's enough.
Right.
It's enough. That's enough.
Yeah, my big question is, if the Clippers aren't willing to part with Trey Mann in order to get James Harden, why do the Sixers want to keep him so badly?
Can James Harden help the Philadelphia Sixers get to where they want to go to on a basketball perspective? In my opinion, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right? Now, here's the part that's really, really, really interesting. He quit on them last year. And he got Doc Rivers fired.
Well, Doc got himself fired.
Okay, you can say that. I'm going to say what I said. James Harden quit on the team, and Doc Rivers got the can. That's what I'm going to say. Now, you can say whatever you want to say because you get to stay winning as well.
They dropped Doc and picked up a nurse.
That's, to patch this thing together, boy, we need some medicine. Listen, man, he can play. He can play.
Yeah.
We're not talking about if he can play or not. James Harden can play the game of basketball on a high level.
Yeah.
But
so can DeMarcus Cousins.
And so can Dwight Howard.
Right.
And what do those two have in common?
They're not in the league.
And guess what? James Harden is on his way
to the big three for Joe Johnson in a blockbuster trade. No?
I swear.
No?
If you ever mention Joe Johnson again, I almost punch you in the face.
Bring Joe back.
The
headbutt. Bring Joe back.
No.
That's gonna be trending this week. Hashtag bring Joe back.
James Harden.
Yeah.
Don't nobody want him. No winning. Let me say this. There's not a team that is in a position to win a championship that want to bring James Harden in to pair with him.
Is there a team that needs a James Harden? Period. Like who? Like James Harden would be like when you have a talent like James Harden without all of the controversy. Mm-hmm. They're great for small markets because they sell tickets.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Shai Gilgeous has been James Harden of Oklahoma City for a couple of years.
Correct.
Like fans are going to show up because Shai's on the team. They got a chance.
Right.
Is there a small market team that could use James Harden?
If this information is correct, not only what's going on currently right now with James Harden, but this was a report that I heard. He met with Houston, or he talked with Houston.
They didn't want him.
And he told Ime Udoka or
they want to score 30 points a game.
And Ime Udoka said, "I'll pass."
Right.
So when the crew that you won your MVP with says, "Nah, we good," and they're not willing to bring you on, you don't have many options. You're gonna end up in Portland. You're gonna end up in
Portland ain't giving up their draft assets or any young talent that they got on that team for James Harden. But I tell you what,
listen, you're gonna be in Utah.
You might be onto something because honestly, if I'm Philly, if I can move on from James Harden and get Jeremy Grant back, plus I don't know the rights to somebody, I don't care. Then you might actually have somebody who can do what I wish Tobias Harris was doing on the Philly team. Right. Jeremy Grant can go get it done.
Right.
So I think that you might be on to something.
Tell you what,
but Portland,
as long as he sits out, I'm gonna tell you a player that's gonna shine.
Who?
Maxey. He gonna love it.
You think
so?
I
think so. I think he gonna take a step forward this year without James Harden playing right now.
I understood the reports correctly, wasn't Maxey the one who basically said, like, yo, James quit on the team?
Absolutely.
So I don't think you can have both of them on the team, on the floor together.
Listen, they used to call Terrell Owens a cancer. There was a time when Randy Moss was in Oakland that they felt Randy Moss was a cancer. Yeah. Well, he went to New England and he set records.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, James Harden, you're in a very bad place right now when it comes to the talent. Is your personality and your track record worth what you produce on the basketball court? And right now they're saying no.
Right.
And it's not because you can't play. It's because, one, you haven't gotten a team to a championship.
Right.
And all of this other stuff that you're doing.
Well, he was on a team that went
to
the championship.
Right.
But, anyway.
Yeah, that's what we got with James Harden.
Sixers, that's their problem. I'm a Knicks fan.
You feel good about that, don't you?
Well, sort of. The part that I don't feel good about are these reports that the Knicks are willing to trade 3 out of 4 players, including RJ, Randall, Fournier, and Mitchell Robinson, plus give up 3 first-round draft picks to get Joel Embiid, to rescue him from a bad system. One, I hope that report is false.
Right.
Because I don't think Joel Embiid's worth all of that.
Right.
I understand Rudy Gobert kind of, set the market because somebody made a bad deal, but you don't got to keep making bad deals.
That's true.
Joel Embiid's not worth all of that.
No.
Not in my opinion. Not in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I hope that's false, and I hope this isn't coming from this James Harden chaos. You know what I mean? Because Joel Embiid, he deserves the ability to win in Philly.
I agree.
Team who took a chance with him, they built around him. James Harden is a good piece to play alongside of him. If it ain't gonna work with James, get rid of him. If you can't get Trey Mann for him, take whatever you can get. You should be able to get a couple of players from Toronto and send his butt up there with Scotty Barnes and just let the two of them argue over the basketball.
I don't like it. I am not a fan of the way it looks. I am not a fan of James Harden right now with the way it's been playing itself out.
Yeah. It's
not fun. It ain't good for basketball because at the end of the day, the fans like to see James Harden play. He's spectacular when he's out there.
Play. He's innovative.
But at the end of the day, he's bad for business.
Yeah.
And that's not and at the end of the day, James Harden, guess what this is about? Business.
And that's the title of this episode. James Harden, bad for business.
Stay winning.
I stay winning. I'm winning, I stay winning. I did it, I stay winning. I'm winning, never losing. I'm winning, or caught slipping. I did it, I stay winning. I'm winning, I stay winning. Yeah.
All right, now tell me something about those Niners.
Nope. I ain't talking about the Niners, man. I'm not talking about Brock Purdy being average.
Average?
That's what I called him. Average. Brock Purdy is average. He good to average.
Wait, you said Dak Prescott was
trash
average to great.
No, I never said that.
To something else.
Average to good.
Nah, you gave him. You said above average.
He's an above average quarterback. Yes.
So you think Dak is better than Brock Purdy?
No, I think they're the exact same quarterback.
Then Dak is also not average, not even.
I think if you put Brock Purdy on the Dallas Cowboys with what Dallas Cowboys got, he looked like Dak Prescott.
Ooh.
And if you put Dak Prescott on the San Francisco 49ers with the San Francisco 49ers got, he looked like Brock Purdy.
All right, let's get into this real quick.
All right, holla at your boy.
Real quick.
Yeah.
All right. Brock is playing without 3 major pieces in his offense.
Correct.
He's playing without
two.
Well, Christian McCaffrey is.
He played on Monday, so we're gonna just say 2.
And he's likely to play the next game too.
Right.
So
no Debo
and no Trent Williams.
Correct.
Now Trent
might be the best left tackle in football.
Might be.
I'm saying might because you just never know.
I mean, other than his temper, I think everything else is straight. I ain't like how he punched my man in the face for the Giants and didn't even get a he didn't draw a flag or nothing. The rest wouldn't even look at him. Everybody's scared of Trent. But
Trent Williams best left tackle in football.
Yeah. So you lose that.
Mm-hmm.
That's you're gonna be running for your life.
Okay.
Right? So that's a big deal.
All right.
Dak don't need to run for his life. His O-line is intact.
Okay. What are you saying?
I'm saying there's a chance that Brock Purdy might be better. Because what we know is Purdy was getting it done before these injuries came along.
I'm going to say it like this. Can Brock Purdy play? Yeah, because he's the NFL starting quarterback. I'm going to say it like that. But I'm going to say this. The system that Kyle Shanahan runs, and when you got all of those weapons that he has access to, will make Dak Prescott look great too.
3 of those weapons were drafted.
The 49ers done a great job. Great organization.
I'm saying they went out and got Kittles. They went out and got Trent Williams.
They got Ayuk.
They went out and got Deebo Samuel. They went out and got Ayuk.
Mm-hmm.
They paid the right price for Christian McCaffrey. Remember when people were like, "Wow, they gave up a
boatload." Yeah,
but he's worth every dime.
Every dime.
So they got him right,
and they paid the money for Deebo to keep Deebo.
Well, they paid to keep him, but they also went out and got Trent Williams.
Absolutely.
Right. I think they made a big trade for him back in the day.
They did.
So they put that team together, and they tried different quarterbacks.
They have.
They didn't just start with Brock Purdy.
No.
They threw a couple of people in there without Christian McCaffrey. Right. They threw a couple of people in there, and it didn't work.
No. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo got them to a Super Bowl.
And turned the ball over.
And they lost in the Super Bowl. And Jimmy Garoppolo had a winning record.
And turned the ball over.
Yeah.
That's Jimmy's MO. Jimmy will play a fantastic game.
Right.
And then when the pressure's on, he throws it to
the Niners understood they needed an athlete at the quarterback position. That's why they went for Trey Lance, because of what they saw on film him do and it didn't work. It worked, but it didn't.
Okay, the second time around before he got hurt, it was going all right.
It was going all right.
But then they put him Mr. Irrelevant.
Okay, and Brock Purdy fits that system great. He fits that system great.
Why does he fit the system great?
1, he's an athlete. 2, before these last 2 games, he didn't turn the football over. Like, that's been a big deal for him.
Why is that?
I think 2 reasons. I think the Trent Williams thing is important, but I think that when you don't have Deebo Samuels, now defense can say, okay, Christian McCaffrey, you're not beating us.
But Kittles will.
And he couldn't. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, we're going to stop you from running Christian McCaffrey down our throat, even though Christian McCaffrey still scored twice on Monday night. Yeah. But he didn't have that 120 rushing, 80 receiving. He didn't have that kind of game. He had a 2-score game, but a pedestrian yards type of a game. Kittle started getting hot later in the 3rd, going into the 4th. He started catching more passes.
Right.
But the one thing that Brock Purdy has been away from, the games that he's won, he hasn't turned the football over. Yeah. Against Cleveland and against Minnesota, he's turned the ball over.
Yeah, and I think part of that is because he was trying to throw it to where his guy was going to be.
Yeah, anticipation.
And his guys wasn't there.
Right.
But number 24 was for Minnesota. Twice. Right? So I think that's what happened. And look, one game, I mean, I know they lost 2. Yeah. But in this last game on Monday, in particular against Minnesota, he looked really bad. With throwing 2 interceptions.
Yeah. The way he threw those interceptions.
Back to back. Yeah, it looked like why
they look bad.
Why
is he throwing that pass? Right.
But I think what sets Brock Purdy apart from Trey Lance and from Garoppolo, well, I'm going to start with Trey Lance. I just think that he makes better reads. And I think that he makes the smart throws and the smart plays. He knows when to throw it away, and he's done that intelligently throughout his young career. He's still very
still young, right.
He's not elite. I know that there's,
rumors,
conversations that he might. No, he's not elite. It's too early for any of that type of noise.
Right.
I think, honestly, Joe Burrow is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I still would not. I would still hesitate to call him elite because it's still really early in his career.
Okay.
I mean, he could be a dud for the rest of his career for all we know. He could be like that guy, and then out of the league.
Got it.
I can't think of the quarterback's name who came in when Peyton Manning and Tom Brady were at their best. But this rookie drafted number 1 came in, reset the salary for quarterbacks. Both of them got bags. Peyton and Tom got paid. Right. He played a couple of years and then he was gone.
Wow.
I can't remember his name, but it'll come to me one day.
Okay.
just not right now.
Yeah.
So Purdy's not elite, but Purdy is smart. He's athletic, like you said. He can make all of the throws. He can make all of the plays that's necessary for this offense to go. He's pushed them this far. Christian McCaffrey has been a big part of that. Trent Williams has played a big part in that as well. Debo, always a big part of that. Like, there was a couple of years ago before Brock Purdy was there, you saw them struggle when Debo went out with an injury.
Correct.
So that's not new.
No.
That's not, Debo is just...
He is that engine. Guy, yes.
He's the engine behind that offense.
Yeah.
But I do think that that Purdy is better than average because he can make those reads. Like, you see quarterbacks who are out there and they don't know what's going
on. That's true.
Right? You see quarterbacks make bad throws all the time, or get into a pattern of turning the ball over and stuff like that.
Right.
Hopefully that's not the case with Purdy.
Right.
I think that he had a bad game, this last game, and I think he'll bounce back next week. Now that he has time to prepare for a game without Debo.
We're going to find out. I mean, I think the book is still out on Brock Purdy. I think it's way too early to kind of put him in a coffin or put him in a category. No, he's not a tier 1 quarterback. It's not enough time to put him in a tier 1.
Don't expect that from the last player taken in the 7th round.
Hey, everybody is trying to find their Tom Brady.
Yeah, but he was taken in the 6th or 5th
It's still
like
a late round pick.
Sure, but he wasn't taken in the 7th round. The last pick.
At the end of the day,
I mean, who was still watching the draft at that point?
You probably.
Nah, I wasn't. I was slow blinking at the TV.
Brock Purdy, the book is out. I'm gonna call you what I called you. You're average.
You suck.
Oh well.
Anyway, looking for the Niners to stay winning. Brock Purdy have a bounce back game. The Niners still going to be a top 5 team in the NFL.
They are.
And we'll see what the playoffs look like.
Yes, we will.
I'll have time to watch them since I won't be watching.
You got one of those quarterbacks that throw the ball to the other team too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that don't have a left tackle that's running for his life.
Yep.
Yeah, all of those.
You got all that. You know what we gonna say about that, right? Stay winning.
Shut up.